Somber anniversary this June 17th, as 5 years ago tonight, 9 people were gunned down at a Wednesday night Bible study at Mother Emanuel in downtown Charleston. 5 people survived the shooting. It's what has become known as the Charleston church shooting. Good morning. Thanks for joining us here on a special edition of News 2 Today. I'm Brad Franco, joined now by Octavia Mitchell. She's down live in front of the church. And Octavia, it's each year is significant, but when we get to the bigger numbers here, the prominent ones, we're on the 5th anniversary. Depending on who you talk to, that is 5 years that has flown by. But like Senator Marlon Kimpson told me yesterday, for other folks, it's been a long 5 years since that happened. And he means in terms of the struggle to get the changes that are needed to prevent this from happening again.
Long 5 years, Brad, and emotions remain raw. Just look at this beautiful church behind me. As the sun begins to rise and the church comes into full view, you can't help but to feel emotional. You ask anyone who was here in Charleston during that time where they were 5 years ago today when this tragedy unfolded, and they'll be able to tell you exactly where they were. It's just one of those tragedies you will never, ever forget. It's cemented throughout our minds, throughout our hearts, and just being here, it's just causes all kinds of emotions to surge. And I will never forget, Brad, you remember clearly, I know, how it felt to hear then former Mayor Joe Riley when he actually made it official. Because we had heard rumors throughout the night about how many people had succumbed, how many people died during this awful tragedy. But when he said those words, that there were 9 victims inside this beautiful church, everyone's heart sunk. So it's a day that's etched in our minds, etched in our hearts, and it's a day that we will never forget. Former Charleston Mayor Joe Riley says one of his proudest memories from his 40 years as the city's mayor is how Charleston responded. Riley told News 2's Brendan Clark about what he saw hours after the shooting.
The way the community responded to this most unspeakable act was beyond anything, and I'm a positive-minded person, that I could ever have imagined. The people the morning after, right there on Calhoun Street, white people and black people together, hugging each other, wiping away each other's tears.
Mayor Riley told News 2's Brendan Clark that he looks forward to the day that the Emanuel 9 Memorial is complete here at Mother Emanuel. The legacy of Cynthia Graham HURD lives on at the Charleston County Public Library. News 2's Taylor Murray joins us live this morning from the Cynthia Graham HURD St. Andrews Library in West Ashley. And Taylor, a new initiative honors HURD.
Octavia, the staff that knew Cynthia HURD say that kindness was her motto. And now they're asking the community to unite through random acts of kindness. Anyone can participate in the initiative throughout the month of June by doing something kind. The library says no act is too small. It can even include writing an encouraging note to a coworker or buying coffee for the person in line behind you. The community engagement manager for Charleston County Public Library remembers HURD as much more than a librarian.
We had the capacity to serve not only with literacy, but also with educational success and workforce development and community engagement. And all those things were important to Cynthia. And I think, I hope that she would be cheering us on. I think she would be for encouraging the community as a whole to be a little more kind to each other.
You can take a look at how kindness is spreading across the Lowcountry in honor of Cynthia HURD by searching #ThisIsForCynthia on social media. I'm live in West Ashley. Taylor Murray, Count on 2.
Thank you, Taylor. 5 years have passed, and Mrs. Jennifer PINCKNEY, the widow of late State Senator Reverend Clementa PINCKNEY, who's also a survivor herself, says there's not a day that goes by that she does not think about her husband or the tragedy. Mrs. Pinckney is the widow of late State Senator Reverend Clemente Pinckney. She sat down with me in a one-on-one interview. State Senator Reverend Pinckney and 8 church members were murdered during Bible study 5 years ago today. Mrs. Pinckney and her youngest daughter were in her husband's office at the church when the gunman opened fire. Mrs. Pinckney says it's been a difficult 5 years. She misses the love of her life and thinks about him all the time. She said everyone knows the serious state senator and pastor, but her husband also had quite a sense of humor.
When I look at my girls, I see their father. One acts like their father and one looks like their father. He was such a people person. I think people, they knew Clemente. He was a loving man. He was a caring man. He didn't see differences. He didn't believe in titles. He was always trying to help people. But I think the main thing that people don't know, he was fun.
Continue to hear from, coming up tonight during News 2, during our special coverage, we will continue to hear from Mrs. Clemente Pinckney, Mrs. Jennifer Pinckney, as she tells us about her journey and how she is working hard to honor her husband's legacy. We're also hearing from Reverend Clemente Pinckney's best friend, Reverend KYLON Middleton. They met as children at an African Methodist Episcopal Church conference on June 17, 2015. Both men were in Bible study at their respective churches. Reverend Middleton described the phone call he received from Jennifer Pinckney about the Charleston church shooting.
I couldn't understand her, and I'm like, Jennifer, slow down. She said, Middleton, I need you to come to Charleston right now. And I said, for what? Why would I come to Charleston now? She says, Pinckney has been shot.
Reverend Middleton told News 2 planning Pinckney's funeral was actually easy because the two had discussed it just weeks prior because Reverend Pinckney was in a car accident. A memorial for the Emanuel 9 is now in the works at the church. It includes 2 large fellowship benches that face each other. An opening between those benches invites people in. A marble fountain will be inscribed with the names of the 9 victims of the Charleston church shooting. Certainly a somber anniversary today. Stay with us here on News 2 Today as we continue to remember and honor the victims and the survivors of the Charleston church shooting.